Welcome to Sunday Science, Social Distancing Edition. So Sadhna, do you know things float and things sink?
Yes.
So do you know what is buoyancy?
Buoyancy, yes.
Yes, do you? I'll tell them. So buoyancy is something that is an ability to float or sink. Okay? So why do you think certain things float and certain things sink? Like a ship is really big, can float, but a rock, really small, sinks. Why does that happen?
Because when there are small things that are part away, they have space that air comes and that make them float.
Yep. So things are made up of molecules, and molecules, if they're really close to each other, that causes high density, and then those things will sink. If there is a lot of space between molecules, it'll float. So they have low density. So a ship, they have a lot of air in it, inside it, and it floats and it's really buoyant. But a rock sinks because it is really high density and it sinks. So we're learning about buoyancy, we're learning about molecules, and what else? Density. So we're going to show buoyancy and float or sink capability with these crackers and a cookie. So Sadhna, I want you to pick which one of these will float and which ones will sink. And we're gonna learn about how dense they are and how buoyant they are. So we're gonna call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So which ones will float?
1 and 2 and 6.
So Sadhna's picking 1, 2, and 6 will float. Everything else is going to sink. So Sadhna thinks 3, 4, 5, which is all different kinds of crackers, have really high density and they're not as buoyant. So should we try it? Sadhna, you can go ahead and put those in. Is it floating for now? Ooh, floating.
Yes. Oh,
that is floating too. Ooh, look at that. That didn't even go in much. Ooh, that's floating up high too. So all of them are floating. Why do you think is that one starting to sink slowly?
Yeah.
Why do you think that one is starting to sink slowly?
Because it's stuck here together.
Well, what do you think is going into it?
Air.
What is it sitting in?
Water.
Water. So what do you think is going into it? Oh, look at that. It's sinking all the way. So what do you think went into it?
Water.
Water. And can you see the air come out?
Yep.
So water molecules are going into the cracker or the Oreo, and as you saw, Oreo sunk right in front of you. Sadhna, can you see what's going on with this one?
It's starting to go down.
Is it starting to go down? So what's happening there?
It's sinking.
It's sinking.
It's
not as buoyant. So what do you think what's happening to its density?
Going down.
Going down or going high? Is it increasing? Is the density increasing?
Going low.
No, the density is increasing, so that's why it's going to sink. So high density causes things to be less buoyant. Low density causes things to be really buoyant. Is that one starting to sink too?
Yep.
Look at this one too. Is that starting to sink?
A little bit. And this one is not even sinking at all.
This one, why do you think that is?
Because it's part away.
Yep, and what about its density? Is it low or high density?
High.
Low density. Low density will float, high density will sink, right?
Yeah.
So what did you learn?
High density and low
low density. So what happens if something is high density?
It goes down,
Yep.
and if it's low, it goes up.
Yep. Good job. So we learned about buoyancy, density, and floating and sinking.